Hello, Bridget Bartlett here with Vision Marketing and Design, and today we are live inside of our team training where we are live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So today we're going to talk about testing. Testing is one of the most important parts of building out a system for your business. You have to test, but I understand there are some things in the testing process that can kind of be confusing. Like, how do you know if there's a hiccup somewhere? How can you find the hiccup? How do you resolve that? And what are you expecting, right? If someone else sets up your system, this is even more important because the testing process is going to help you learn what your lead is going to be experiencing through the whole process. So you should test every single step multiple times to make sure that you understand and that you can troubleshoot any issues, but don't let that fear make you not do what we call like a soft launch. Okay. Definitely go out there and get leads, and as problems arise, you will learn in that process as well. Okay, so let's actually just dive in. I do want to say hello to Terry and Ray who are joining on YouTube. Hello, Miss Maria. Okay, so the example we're going to use here is ElmLink. Okay, now if we've set up your system, this is one of the tools that you have available to resell, and it will already have the the products created, the automations, and all of that. So what you want to do is you want to go into the actual funnel. Okay, and I'm just going to open this up. I do always recommend testing in an incognito window. So I'm going to go and open up incognito. This will eliminate any, especially if you're using sticky contacts, because it will pre-fill in some information. Now, this account is not completely set up, but I actually thought that this would kind of be cool because if there are any issues, we can troubleshoot together. Okay, so you want to act like a real customer. Okay, so here I have my link, and now I'm going to add an email address. Now, one of the things in testing, before I even do this, so sorry. I want to go to the settings here, and I want to toggle this onto test. Okay. Now, there are 3 different steps to this funnel because there are 3 different plans, all right? With ElmLink, we have the free plan, like all the tools, and then we have the premium plan, and then we also have a legacy plan, okay? So the free plan, we don't need to worry about the product and having it in test and everything, but there is a process, okay? So let's go ahead. I'm going to take this. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to open an incognito window now that it's in test, and I am going to fill out the form just like I was a customer. Okay, so I'm going to click here. Now I'm going to fill out the form. I'm just going to give a name test. And when you're doing the email address, one little tip here, instead of having multiple email addresses, because you don't want to use the one you're sending from, you want to use a completely different email address. So you can do the beginning of your email and then the plus sign, and then say, like, here's what I do. I do test. And then, if I've tested this 44 times, I'm going to do 45, and then I'm going to do at my vision agency. Now I'm going to receive this email in the inbox of wherever my emails for info at my vision agency go to. Okay, so this allows me to see what emails they are going to receive. Okay, so I can do info plus whatever I want to here, and then my domain. All right. So, and this is if my actual email was info@myvisionagency.com. Okay. So this is kind of like a test email. All right. When you add that plus and then the additional there. Now you want to put in a phone number. I'm just going to use 800-555-5. Okay. And then we will create the free account. Now you can see here that we have created the free account. Okay, so this is where it stops. Now what we want to do is, because remember I said there are 3 steps to this funnel. So we have the free account, and then we have what happens when each of these 2 things are purchased. Okay, so let's actually go now. What happens when they stop there? Okay, because remember, we're the customer. Usually people will go to the page and they will fill out the free account form, but they won't get the credit card out and all that. So what happens at that point? So we can go to the contacts here, And you can see that now we have this contact, okay? So if we click here and open up the contact, you'll see we can tell where this person visited. So they actually visited this page. They filled out the two-step form, and we created a contact, okay? So all of these things happened here in the account. Now, if we had any tasks or anything inside of our workflow that we wanted to create, we could see all of those things here. But really, the magic of this is seeing that tag, because in our automations, everything is triggered by the tag. So we see now, if we're troubleshooting, okay, we see now that they did get tagged, so that's a plus. And they also received the email from us that says, "Hi, test. Just set your login credentials for Elm Link to Cloud Key." Basically, make sure that you got it, okay? So this is our safety step in, because what happens is now when this contact gets tagged here, okay, it's going to trigger our automation, and we can do that. We can look here by going to Elm Link. And remember, there's only, I said 3 steps. So you see there are 3 different automations. All right. So these are the 3 different, each tool, you need to make sure to test each and every step. So we're testing this step here, and we see they filled out the order form. Okay. And it's the opt-in. And then we added the tag here for Elm Link, and then we sent the email. So this is what it looks like on the back end if you wanted to edit any of this that went out. Okay. The goal of this email is just, like I said, a safety step to make sure that they know that the email came from CloudKey, because a lot of times if our agency is Billy Bob CRM, then they get an email from CloudKey and they're like, wait, I don't know what this is because I, signed up on Billy Bob website. All right. So we just want to say, hey, it came from our partners with CloudKey. Now you can also go to the history here, and you can see, here's our info test 45. So you can see each of the step that the contact went through. Okay, so they were added to this workflow here. The tag was executed. We sent an email, and then it finished and removed from the workflow. And you can also see more details here in regards to if there were any errors or anything like that. You can see that one said remove from the log. If there's I don't see an error in this one here, but if there was an error, you could identify that here. Now, where else can we check that? Okay, so what if we see from our end now that everything should be good for this contact? It looks like they have an Elm Link account, a free Elm Link account. From everything that we can see here, we see that they did receive our email. Now, let's go into the Automations tab, and let's go into our Cloud Key app workflows. And you can see here we want to choose the tool, because these are where the magic happens with Cloud Key. Okay, so we are sending this information through webhooks that all get set up when you create your account. And when that webhook is triggered, then the automation through Cloud Key to create the account is triggered. So you can see this automation here. You don't ever have to do anything with this, but the important part is to note the history here. Okay, so we can see in our history now, again, we're just trying to see now if they received the account. All right, so I can see here that it did go through here because of the tag. That's what triggered, and we can tell that here, okay, because our triggers say Elm Link Legacy and Pro and the free. Okay, so it's going to decide which tag does this account have, and then it's going to trigger the account creation webhooks according to that. Okay, so like I said, don't get overwhelmed about that. You don't really need to know anything except for the history here if you're trying to troubleshoot. So we can see that this person here, they entered in the workflow. It was the if else condition was executed. They added the Elm Link free to the account field. And you can see here that there was an error. And the error is because this is not set up to automate the account creation through the API and all of that. We didn't set it up like we would a member. Okay. But you can see that error there. And then when I click the execution log, you can see a little more info there and then more details. So you can see, here's the contact. The action was the webhook and there was an error. You have a message here. So if you have someone helping you that gives you a little bit more info. Okay. So now the next step is, okay, if all of this is good and maybe the person has contacted us and they've said, hey, I never received an email from CloudKey. Now you can go into your CloudKey partner portal and you can paste that. Now, of course, like I said, this part isn't set up in this account, but you could paste that email there and then you could see if there were any accounts created with that email here. It will tell you the name of the account and the email and which app they have access to and their plan and when it was created and all of that. So if you don't see the account here, what you need to do is go to your CloudKey support. And so that is going to be support.cloudkey.io, and you can submit a request here and say, hey, I had I had an issue. We didn't have an account created. You can actually you can give them access to the account. They can help you sort through all of that. Maybe it's just a connection error or something like that. Okay. So that's what you want to do in that case. Now you want to walk through each of these steps and test. So now let's go back to the actual website. So we're going to do Elm. And let's test if someone made a purchase. Okay, so here is where that's really important. You want to make sure that this is on test. Okay, once you put that on test and click save, then we're going to go to the steps and you will see here that we have our funnel. Now, of course, you want to do this in incognito. So we'll just go here and let's just refresh. And let's go ahead and do claim now. And you can see here that it's actually going to pre-fill in. This is why it's cool to put it incognito, because if you had your other information in here or you were, doing some other tests or something like that, sometimes it will fill that in and then totally confuse you. So if you are doing these tests, just create a new incognito window, like I'm going to show you here. I'm just going to close this out. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to create a new incognito. I'm going to paste that in, and then you won't be able to see in the form the test info. Okay, so I'm going to do info at or plus, and then we'll do test 46 at myvisionagency.com. And we'll go ahead and put a fake phone number in here and claim your free account. So right now I've created a free account just like we just did. Okay. But this time I want to make a purchase. So I am the lead and I decided, whoa, I can get Elm Link for just $4 a month. That's crazy. Get my credit card out. So I'm going to put in the credit card information, but the test credit card information is 424242, okay? And then you want to put any expiration date here. Just make sure that it's past the date that you're testing on. And then any CSV, I'll just do 567. Or is that called CSV? CVC 567. So these can be anything. Just make sure you're in test mode and you do 424242, okay? So now I'm going to click Claim Upgrade Offer. And it's going to go through the test here, and then it is going to send me to the thank you page. Just take a second. Okay, so now we get to our thank you page. Congratulations. Check your inbox for login credentials sent from CloudKey. So I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to go back to my contacts again, and I'm going to see now I have my other test, and this one has Elm Link Pro user. So I'm going to click here now, and you can see I have another email here, and it says, because remember, they've claimed that free account. So now we have another email saying we sent your login credentials. Okay, so again, if you want to change that, you can. So we want to see all of the emails going out, and we want to see this Elm Link Pro user tag. Okay, so we see that now we know this part of the automation is taken care of. Okay, so we see the page they visited, we see the two-step order form, the contact was created, they actually made a purchase, and they went to the thank you page. Okay, so we can also, and side note, if you had any offers inside your membership area, like, some type of training or something like that, you could just click here and then manually give them access to the offer if for some reason in your automations it wasn't built in. Okay. So you can verify that they did receive access to the offer here if they had that, okay? You can also make sure that if you have the email attached to the offer, it will also show up in here if they were granted access, okay? So now we have that. Now let's go to our payments here, and we're going to go to products, and you will see, let's go to transactions, you will see that we did have a test purchase, okay? So this is where that is going to show up. You'll see the Elm link, $4. All right. And then if you wanted to click here, you can view the transaction and see. You also see that it's in test mode here. And then you can also go to your automations, and you can go into Elm link, and you want to go to the Pro plan, and you can see here, order form submitted, and this is for the Pro plan. Okay, so whenever it loads, and of course, we're going to remove the Elm link tag, the free plan, and we're going to add the free plan for the Pro user, and then, of course, here's where you want to edit that email if you need to. You can also check the history here, and you can see this person was added to the workflow. We removed the tag, added the tag, sent the email, and then they were removed from the workflow. Of course, you can also go into the Cloud Key app workflows, and you can go to Elm link, and you can test the history here, and you can see exactly what happened. So we opted in to the funnel. Actually, it's on 2 pages here. So the 46, it was added to the workflow. And you can also search the contact here. So if it was info.test46, I could choose that contact, and then I could see all of the actions within that within the workflow there. Okay. I don't know why I just did that. So if there was an error, of course, you could check the execution log, and then you could also check for more details as well. All right. So again, now we have that account was created. We've checked the contact to see, you know, did they get tagged and everything. And then, of course, once again, we could go and check our Cloud Key and make sure that their account was created in here and that the appropriate plan was created. If it's not, all you have to do is just change it. Okay, when it shows up here, you will see that it says free, and then it'll have like a drop-down menu, and you can change it to premium just that simply. Okay, so nothing is too complicated to resolve. So don't let this process get you overwhelmed. Okay, so that is the basic process of testing, you know, your free products, your workflows, and how to actually do test purchases to see what is actually going out. So you need to make sure that when you are testing this, that you are testing at least, you know, at least if we set it up, you want to make sure you're testing Elm Link, Elm Messenger Pro. You also want Elmatic and Elm Optimizer. Like I said, this is the demo account, so those aren't set up. So make sure that you are testing all of those, at least, like I said, with our products. But this is the same process when you are testing any system or automations within your HighLevel account. Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining me. I do want to see here, Maria says, thanks, Bridget. You must be reading my mind. I was wondering the best way to test. Now I know. Yay. Ray says, if they unsubscribe from the link in their email, will they be removed from the monthly fee? No, it will not affect Stripe at all. They won't receive their emails anymore. But their actual account, remember, is through Cloud Key. So they're still, if you are not removed from their marketing list, they will still get that email. And then also, so it's just that unsubscribe part is just coming from your account. Let's see. Terry says, same here. Life of Freedom Coaching. Hello, McCall. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye. Before you go, if you have questions, join us for open office hours starting right now at bridgetbartlett.com. See you there.